I get around, yeah, get around, round, round.
Hi, this is Marietta Allen welcoming you to our weekend magazine brought to you by Hudson Heritage Federal Credit Union. We are going to be talking about things to do and see within probably about a 3-hour radius of our location here in the Mid-Hudson. Today we're going to be doing an in-depth on West Point. We'll be talking with the West Point Museum. We'll be talking with West Point Tours, and we'll also be touching base with Eisenhower Hall. And I hope at the end of the show you're going to have a really good idea of things to do over at the West Point location. It's a fabulous destination. It's good for people of all ages. It's very educational, and it's a lot of fun. Okay, so we'll be back in a few minutes, and we'll introduce our first guest. Thank you.
I'm proud of my heritage.
I'm proud of my heritage.
Hudson Heritage Federal Credit Union. You plan well, you work hard, and dream big. That's why you need to manage your finances right, too. With Hudson Heritage Federal Credit Union, you can count on a team to work as hard as you do to help you meet your financial goals and make your dreams come true with their money-saving solutions and commitment to personalized banking. At Hudson Heritage, they believe in building relationships and getting to know you. So whether you're buying a new home, sending a child to college, or planning for your retirement, you can count on your heritage to make things happen. If you live, work, worship, volunteer, or attend school in Orange, Ulster, or Dutchess County, you and your family can join Hudson Heritage. Stop by any one of their convenient locations or visit their website at myhudsonheritage.com for further details. Hudson Heritage Federal Credit Union. Personalized banking. It's what we do. Hudson Heritage Federal Credit Union, an equal housing lender. Hudson Heritage is federally insured by the NCUA.
Hudson Heritage, make you feel like a friend. Hudson Heritage, that's what we do. Hudson Heritage.
Hudson Valley Talk Radio and online at hudsonvalleytalkradio.com.
This is Marietta Allen. Welcome back to Weekend Magazine. I'm speaking with John Shinneman, who is the tour director of West Point Tours. West Point Tours has been around a long time and does one of the most incredible jobs when you take a tour. Compare any tour you go on with West Point Tours. It's really quite an organization. John, are you there? Hello?
I am there. Very kind. Thank you.
Yes, well, I've been on a lot of tours, and you guys really do it right, and I really enjoy every time I come to West Point. Now, there's a visitor center over there, right? You work out at a visitor center?
Yeah, our desk where you purchase tickets is located in the visitor center, and our tours depart from the visitor center parking lot.
Yes, and West Point is the kind of place where there is so much interesting stuff. You really need somebody to take you through it and to show you and explain it. So you have a couple of different kinds of tours, and you could give us, whatever you lead me into however you want to present your information, because I think you'd know better.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, the story of West Point is really the story of America, since it's basically been around since we got our independence. Our basic tour is 1 hour long. All our tours are combined bus and walking tours with a guide. The 1 hour tours run throughout the year. Okay. The only days we don't offer tours are Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, graduation week, which is in May, and then the Saturdays of Army home football games.
Okay.
When the weather gets nice, we add to the types of tours we give. We have a 2-hour tour, which starts running in the spring and runs throughout the fall.
Okay.
And that tour adds some additional stops to the 1 hour tour. And then we have some more specialized tours for groups, which we can do.
All right. Now, the 1 hour tour, can you give us an idea of the kind of places you're seeing and what you're...
Yeah, it goes around the post, and it makes stops at the main cadet chapel, which is absolutely glorious. And then it goes down to Trophy Point, and you get off the bus there and walk around. You've got the magnificent view of the Hudson, the $1 million view.
$1 million view, yeah.
Lots of monuments there to talk about. And then the parade field, which overlooks the central academic area. On that tour, you're off the bus about 30 minutes walking around.
And sometimes the cadets are working out for the parade. You get to see them, doing their thing?
Well, you will see cadets most of the time, walking around campus, going to classes.
Okay.
You don't really see them practicing for dress parades or things like that.
Okay.
There is an event which you can see if you're on a tour, which is lunch formation, which occurs at noon. And if you take the 11:45 1 hour tour, it will stop and you'll get to see a little lunch formation, which is the cadets lining up in their units and marching into Washington Hall to have lunch. So it's not real long, but it's nice to watch.
Yes. Now, West Point has been, pretty much if you're going to be trained and want to be a great military leader, you went through West Point. Who are some of the famous people that went there?
Oh boy, it's really a who's who. I mean, the obvious ones are the generals like Patton and Eisenhower and MacArthur. But lots of interesting people have gone through West Point, whether they've graduated or not. For instance, Edgar Allan Poe went to West Point. The painter James Whistler went to West Point.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So lots of interesting people have come here. Former presidents such as Eisenhower and Ulysses S. Grant.
Yeah.
And if you want to throw in the Confederacy, Jefferson Davis.
Oh, Jefferson Davis. So both sides were
West Point too.
Both sides were trained at West Point, and they were. Isn't that interesting? That's
one of the aspects of the tour or that we talk about quite a bit was what the Civil War meant to West Point, because it really tore the institution apart.
Yeah.
So many of the generals on both sides were classmates or were trained at West Point.
Some of them might have known each other personally, which gives some insights into things. Well, I tell you, every time I take the tour over there, I learn something new. And do you still go by the cemetery and some of the other?
That is the 2-hour tour.
Okay.
For the 2-hour tour, we add stops at the West Point Cemetery, and then the old Cadet Chapel, which was the original chapel here at West Point. That one was built in 1837. The cemetery is really a highlight, though. There are some very interesting people who are buried there, such as Custer.
Oh, really?
And of course, what the sacrifice that these people who are there have made makes it a very moving stop on the tour.
Yeah. Very nice. And I heard your chapel, is that the one where it's got one of these gigantic organs? There's like only 2 of them in the world or something? That's
the main cadet chapel, which is on all our tours, providing there isn't a wedding or some ceremony going on. That chapel is absolutely glorious. The organ in it is the largest organ in a religious facility in the world. There are over 23,000 pipes.
Wow, isn't that something?
In that organ, and to give you a comparison of what that means, I mean it's a big number to begin with, but you think of St. Paul's in London, the massive cathedral there, that has about 10,000 pipes.
Wow,
so you can see the scale.
Yeah, well, it's a glorious building. You get all the flags and it just very
the stained glass. It's quite a special place.
Yeah, so that's on your tour also. Now the with the tour, I mean, if somebody wanted to come and maybe eat, is there the visitor center? Does it have food? What kind of things can you find when you're there?
The Visitor Center doesn't have any foods facilities. The Visitor Center has exhibits devoted pretty much to cadet life and the cadet experience, which are very interesting and worthwhile to look at.
Okay.
Video loops of military training exercises.
Oh,
something the boys like to watch.
Yeah.
What a cadet room inspection is like.
Well, that's interesting too.
Something the moms might like.
Yeah. That's a good impression.
The gift shop is at the Visitor Center.
Yep.
In terms of food, the village of Highland Falls has a lot of restaurants right around, across the street or next door to the Visitor Center. So
okay, so you can go to McDonald's or go to
there's a McDonald's there, and there are a variety of other restaurants.
Okay, so really you can fill a whole day with West Point between the museum, your tour, the Visitor Center exhibits, the gift shop. You got a great gift shop over there, too. That's a wonderful gift shop.
Yeah, there are actually 2. There's the gift shop in the Visitor Center, which is devoted primarily to athletic wear, clothing, things like that, always popular. And then the museum gift shop, which has, things you'd expect in a museum gift shop, more books and a wider variety of things to buy. They're both good.
Sounds good. Now, if somebody wanted to bring a bus group or, a school group or something...
Yeah, it is a very popular school trip location as well as general tour groups. What we do is we put a guide onto the bus of the group that's coming and approach the tour that way.
Okay.
They do need to call us in advance to reserve the guide.
Okay. What's your phone number over there so anybody
It's 845-446 4724.
Okay.
And, of course, they can also go to our website, and we have ways you can book guides.
Okay. And what is your
via the
website? What's your website over there?
It's www.westpointtours.com.
Okay. So you're open pretty much all the year except for those couple of dates. And the hours, how early can they take a tour and how late would you?
The schedule does vary depending on the time of the year, so you should check the website.
Okay.
Obviously, as the weather gets warmer, we add more tours to the tour day during vacation periods. The Visitor Center is open from 9 in the morning until 4:45 every day.
Okay.
And our tours will obviously fall into that time period.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Well, you've been a wonderful help. We urge all of our listeners to make sure somewhere you go and take this tour because it's very educational. It's just a wonderful day out, and you'll have a really nice time. And you guys do a great job. Keep up the good work over there. We appreciate it, John.
I appreciate it, and I just want to remind everybody who does come to visit us that if you're 16 years old or above, you must bring photo ID for military security.
Oh, that's important. Yeah, there is security over there.
Yes, it is.
That's right. Okay, that's an important thing. So thank you so much, and
All right, thank you.
we'll talk to you again sometime. God bless.